Let's touch on that. Let's touch on that for a second. Halt the ADHD. Yo, what's good, YouTubes? This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP. That's the Everyday City Carry podcast. And once again, I feel like I have not done a podcast in 10 years. 10. I'm sort of off to a late start today because your boy be playing Borderlands. And some of y'all are probably thinking, what is Borderlands, Ray? Is that like a family or something that you have been hanging out with? No, I'm talking about Borderlands 3. I've been playing Borderlands 3 a lot with Kelly. We really like it. And, I've never played video games with Kelly before. So it is kind of refreshing to play video games with your girl when she's actually into it. You know what I mean? If any of you guys that do play have never experienced a girl actually being into the games that you're playing, it's one of the joys of life. It is one of the joys of life to have a girlfriend that is actually into playing video games or a game that you like without you forcing him to, man. You know, last night I actually wanted to do a podcast with her. I've been trying to get Kelly on the podcast, but she keeps ditching me. She keeps ditching me, and, I can't do it. And that's why I sort of have to do this podcast solo today, because last night when I got home, she was like, I'm too tired to do the podcast. And I was like, you listen to me, okay? When you have a podcast and people are listening to it, you gotta do it every week, man. Release it on the same day, around the same time. That's how I do it, sorta. But I folded. I crumbled because I was like, all right, let's play Borderlands. Let's play Borderlands 3. And you guys are probably like, why do you say it like that? Well, it's funny. It's funny. Just like I say Iron Man or Spider-Man, and people think I'm talking about the Jewish Avengers. Peter Parkenstein. You know what I mean? So we've got a lot of things going on in the pod. This was a pretty good week. I was kind of having a slow week creatively, I think, last week. But this week... Actually, no. What am I talking about? My memory's shot now because last week I think I released the Red E Folder review. This week I released the Kunwu Knives Orion review. Check out the Ready Folder review, by the way, if you haven't, because I'm going to be doing... Let's touch on that. Let's touch on that for a second. Halt the ADHD. Let's just put that down for a second. And let's touch on that. So the Ready Folder review, that is by Williamson Copenhagen. I bought that, and I reviewed that for you guys. Pretty well received. Mikkel Williamson was like, yeah, man, some sales kind of went up when that went out. So thank you, which made your boy feel good inside. He also said, your review is super dope. And I've never had a designer say that to me, because it's kind of street, it's kind of urban, kind of hood. Your review was super dope. And I liked it. I liked it when he said that. But what I wanted to touch on was the Apex Pass Around group. Due to the efforts of your boy, the entire line of production knives from Williamson Copenhagen is now being passed around in the Apex Pass Around group. And I checked the sort of path that the knives would travel in, and I forgot to say that I'm in. So that's how you do it. In the Apex Pass Around group, when you see a knife that you like or a group of knives that you like, you just comment the word in the thread, right? But seeing as your boy sort of got this thing going, I didn't type the word in. I thought I was automatically in, but I typed in later. So I'm at the very end. So you're going to see all your favorite reviewers review these knives for the past month, I'd say, and then I'll get them. But we all know what you guys really want to watch. You guys want to watch a really dumb Neanderthal like me review these knives and not do as good of a job as the other guys. You know what I mean? But show it better. I was thinking about that the other day, and that's pretty much what my channel is now. I don't give educated reviews, really. I kind of go the way I review knives is mainly for aesthetics, the action, and ergonomics. The steels don't matter as much. It's really about design, my experience with the knife, how much I love carrying it, and I guess the way I interact with the company is kind of counting now. I'm not going to be biased. I'm not going to review a knife that I don't like. I probably won't say anything about it, and I've done that a few times. Also, if I can't really give a somewhat educated review on a knife, I kind of just send it to the next guy. I try to put it on. I always put knives on my TikTok now. I always try to do something on Twitter. Although my Twitter is kind of barren lately. I haven't been on it. Got to do that. Twitter fam, when we get back on it. I try to create as much content as I can for the knife, even if I don't review it. And what's going to happen is if there is a raffle at the end, maybe I won't accept it. I don't know. Well, maybe I'll talk about that if it happens. But yeah, man, I really think that this week has been great. A lot of support has been happening. I see my numbers are going up, little by little. It's going up. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there, and you guys are definitely helping, man. I'm trying to work on merch, getting some logo stuff going on, and just trying to do as much as I can to kind of elevate the channel more than it is. I've been feeling like things have been happening, and I like that. Another thing that I just recalled right now is there's no more boxes in the back. No more boxes in the back. No, I'm just playing. I just hear that song too much on TikTok. That song, Old Town Road, actually blew up on TikTok. Actually, that's what he did. That's a smart man, Lil Nas X. But yeah, I cut all the boxes in the back here. I used the Kunwu Orion to do that. Back to the Kunwu Orion though. Kunwu knives. I talked to Sergio, who's from Kunwu. He manages the Kunwu Knives official page on Instagram. And what's funny is he was working for San Renmu when I met him, which I was trying to get in with them because I wanted to kind of represent them creatively at the time. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I'm doing my own thing now with Kunwu. And he talked to me for a long time, man. When these designers, when I click with them, they see my work and they're like, oh shit, this guy is doing really different stuff, I think Kunwu is the first company that has recognized what I'm doing more than anyone else, man, because I'm such a small fish in a pond that has a lot of fish in it that kind of like are really good at what they do. But there aren't a lot of fish doing what I'm doing. I'm kind of like the three-eyed fish. You know what I'm saying? The three-eyed fish focusing on editing and camera presence and sort of being funny and being silly. I'm that three-eyed fish. And Kunwu was like, man, I really like, how you went about doing that review. And, there may be some opportunities in the future there. But, Kunwu is a small company, man. And I had a viewer, John Duncan. I didn't get to reply to him yet. I'm still replying to the reviews of the comments from the review. But like I said, I had to play Borderlands with the wife. So I had to do that. And I didn't get to comment back to a few of them. But John Duncan was like, they really got to be a little more competitive because Tucson has M390 and their fit and finish is really good. That is true. Tucson, I love Tucson. I am a Tucson fan. I'm actually thinking about selling off my entire collection, and except for the stuff that people have given me, and the Tucson is going to stay. Like I might even sell some Civivis off. I love Tucsons. Their fit and finish, their prices, the steels they use, absolutely amazing. But what Kunwu is doing is they are getting into the steels, whatever it's called, smithing or whatever. They're trying to master all that. They're focusing on that as well as the fit and finish. And I want to say that it's very hard to describe how the Kunwu Knives Orion feels unless you have it in hand. You know, so if you know somebody that has one, if you could kind of like just handle it for a little bit, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because $150 and below is kind of my price range when it comes to knives. And I couldn't believe that this knife started out as $99 on Kickstarter. It's just really crazy. You know, you got titanium, you got a little carbon fiber splash on the pivot, you have the S35VN blade steel, the crazy action, good ergos, but it just feels... There aren't knives at that price point, not Kaisers, not any of that feel that way. No hot spots. It's like no shortcuts were taken on this. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I just want people to experience that. I want the company to be successful, of course, so I'm going to be helping them out. You know, that's something I've always wanted to do, is take small companies that I click with and kind of grow with them. You know, if I don't even know if that's a noble thing or not, but yeah, you know, I like it, man. I like him. I like Sergio a lot. I'm going to try to have him on the podcast, man. This guy has worked all over the knife industry, and he's got some juicy gossip, dude, that I love. I know that everyone would love to hear this, you know, these like sort of little tidbits that like we're not privy to. But yeah, that's sort of like what my week has been so far. I'm not sure how prepared I am on this podcast, man, but you know, I've gotten good at talking to you guys, you know. I feel like y'all are here. Y'all are here, now I mean. I don't know what kind of accent that is, but I feel like that's how this podcast is now. And I could take a week off. Not going to, man. Things have been going too well for me to take a week off and not upload a podcast every morning at the very least, and some other videos. But yeah, a lot of support has been coming my way, and I just feel honored, man. You know, I want to shout out my boy Seems Logical for, I don't know if I talked about this on a podcast yet, but the Spyderco Capara, you know, he donated this to me, and I want to do something special with this. I freaking love this, and look how smooth this is, man. What? Look at that. Damn. He was just like, hey, bro, I got an extra one. You can have it. And that's, you know what is the way to my heart, man? It's through my stomach, if you're a lady. But if you're a man, it's with a knife. I don't mean stab me, though. I mean just give me stuff. Give me knives. Me with Knives, Mark from Me with Knives channel. Oh, sorry, Waptucci. My bad. Waptucci's my boy, too. Gave me this brother knife. This is probably one of the more interesting ones I have, because it is a lockback, and it's kind of like a traditional... I was thinking it was a slip joint at first, but it is beautiful, man. Such a cool knife that if you are kind of a knife collector, you're going to think this is really dope. I showed it to Kelly, and she was just kind of like, meh. But really cool. VG10, this is a brother knife. I'm not sure which one. It says number 892, and it says 1503 on it. It says Wonton Design, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, pretty dope, man. And yeah, Waptucci also gave me this. This is what Kelly liked. She was like, oh shit, that's nice. The Tangram Vector in blue. The blue on this cannot be justified on camera. It is so bright. You know what I mean? So bright. Like Vin Diesel would have this knife in Fast and the Furious. And he's like, all that matters is family. Fast and the Furious 20 and shit. You know? Fast and the Furious everyday carry. Yeah, and look, I got this, the Grizzly Ridge Benchmade from Me with Knives. So cool. I just feel so fortunate and humbled. Oh, I got this piston knife too. Somebody told me that this is a CKF clone, and I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with CKF because I don't have money. And I want their knives, but I didn't know that. It's like the piston knife on DH Gate. But I do appreciate Waptucci giving it to me. And look, man, I just want to thank you guys for supporting me. It has made a really big impact on just the way I'm doing mentally. Not that I was doing bad, but I just feel more inspired creatively, man. Just with the comments, the DMs, people have bought stuff from me, from the shop, CBD wise. That's another thing I want to talk about, yo. So like, you guys think that I'm probably the youngest looking guy, even though I'm 39 years old. I fucked my neck up, yo. I don't know how. I leave my phone on the floor, and when my alarm went off, I think I was still in bed, and I went down and fucked my neck up, man. And let me tell you something right now. If I didn't have CBD in my life, I think it would hurt so much. It's doing better now. I could I could move it now. But on Sunday, I got up and I was like, and it was hurting, man. But I've been using Red Bowie muscle gel. I've been using Soma pain salve, Envy CBD cream, just all like CBD creams. Oh yeah, but one of the best ones, those are all good. I use them like different times because I'm trying to test stuff out at the shop. That's what I do. I use the stuff and then I can talk about it better because I have personal experience, or I know someone with personal experience, like someone in my family. That's how the shop does it. We're not very sciencey. We're not gonna bore you to sleep with all the details, although we do know some of that. But it is all personal experience. So if you ever want to try CBD, that's what we do at the shop. We have used everything. We do not sell anything that we haven't loved. We get stuff sent in to us all the time, and we don't sell everything, man. Some things don't make the cut. But yeah, I've been using just different creams, and maybe I'll splash some pictures and stuff like that on here. But there is, we just started carrying CBD MD. They're partnered with UFC fighters, athletes, very big company. And they have this like roll-on cream where it's like, it has biofreeze in it. I don't know if you've ever used that. It's like a very extreme cooling effect. And it's a roll-on like a deodorant. But when you roll it on the part of the body that's in pain, immediate relief, yo. And that shit's like only $30. It's crazy. I used that, man. It was so good. I didn't put any like font in the thumbnail for the Kunu Orion, and I kind of like it better, man. People can read the title and figure out what the video is, so I'm gonna stop putting the font. I don't know, I'm just tired of the font, man. Tired of the font. Not gonna do it. I'm just gonna have like a cool picture. I'm tired of the font, So yeah, but I have been looking into channel upgrades. I'm kind of like watching tutorials again to try to get better at stuff. And that's just another thing that's been happening, man. I'm just trying to like elevate the channel more. A lot of my buddies and a lot of other knife reviewers they focus on getting a lot of content out and have, deeper knowledge into explaining some of the steels and the mechanisms and all that. And, I'm taking a page out of Slicey Dicey's book, man. He said something on my podcast. If you haven't watched that, by the way, check out the Slicey Dicey podcast with me. That was really amazing. He said something that stuck with me. He was like, I'm just going to do it the way I do it, and not try to do something else because they're going to do it better than me. I know that I just butchered that. But the way that I took it is, why am I going to try to explain all this knowledge that someone has explained better than me? Like, why am I going to get into steels when I don't know about it? I'm just going to go all in on making cool videos. And when you want to watch a cool video, you come here. That's it. When you want to go watch a knife review to see if you're going to buy something or not, or get, the latest, like let's say a Civivi just came out or a ZT just came out. I'm probably not going to be the guy that has it right away unless, all them companies start sending stuff my way. Yeah, I'm probably not. But you can always count on me to have a different voice about something and make a cool video. Like, I'm just going to make cool videos. That's what you come here for. And also the podcast, man. Also the podcast. I'm working on more guests, by the way. But yeah, let's see what else I got going on here. But oh yeah, I'm just researching more things. Instead of getting deeper knowledge, which I am little by little about the knife industry and the knife world and folding knives and EDC gear, I am getting better at running this channel. You know what I mean? If you think about the channel upgrades, since I started, it's drastically different. You know what I'm saying? The quality, the audio, just like the way I shoot things, how smooth things go, it's much better. I've gotten better at talking because of this podcast, man, and I have you guys to thank for that. Some people are like, oh, have you started the podcast yet? I'm like, yo, I'm up to episode 25 already. Episode 25. Can you believe that? This is episode 25. And I didn't start this podcast not too long ago. I've been doing one a week, sometimes two a week, which is kind of crazy. I'm going to try to get Kelly on, for real. I think the reason why I want Kelly to be on is I have not had a physical guest in the studio. And I have two of these mics, man. If you want to check out the A-List CBD podcast, I interviewed Sherman B., who was on the show American Grit. That was a show hosted by John Cena. It was kind of like American Ninja Warrior. That is on the A-List CBD podcast. And I'm using two mics, two of these. And the audio is so crispy. I think the video could have been better because I wasn't set up for it. But in this room, I already know everything. My lights are already set up. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. Oh, another cool thing was yesterday, I want to say. No, I think it was the day before yesterday. These hemp farmers from North Carolina and Atlanta came down to the shop and were just, reaching out. They wanted to do a small interview. It was Smoke and Get Rich Tours, I think is the Instagram. I'll splash that on here. And they're kind of like cannabis hemp farmers who like to educate people on how to, kind of like get into the industry and start making money in the long run for generational wealth, man, because there's a lot of money to be made in cannabis and hemp, and CBD. And I like their message. They're very cool. I think the guy that interviewed me was like Blue Pillar 44, I want to say, on Instagram. But yeah, that was a really interesting experience to meet people that were, balls deep into social media and getting their message out there. I like their message, they're very friendly. And I did a little interview with them. I don't know when that's going to release, but I really liked it. I'll let you guys know when it comes out. You guys just, get to see your boy talk about CBD. Someone else interviewing me for once, and it was a cool experience, man. I wasn't expecting that. It was sort of like towards the end of the day, and that I was like, oh shit, let me take a swig at a cough because I'm tired from playing Borderlands. You guys all like Gramworthy, right? So in Gramworthy, and I almost talked about this, I touched briefly on this in the community section. John Duncan hits me up and he was like, listen, man, a buddy of mine from the forums, was diagnosed with cancer and I want to buy CBD products for him. It's just crazy. The community has struck again, man. With kindness, I've never experienced this type of phenomenon before, where people in the same community, which is vast, all right, the EDC community is vast. It's niche, but it's vast, and we form these bonds with each other. Most of the time, we've never met, but we want to help each other, and I've never experienced that in any other community before. I see raffles going around all the time to help someone's family. Maybe someone got sick. Maybe someone passed away. Like the Nick Maffey. JT's been campaigning about that a lot. Oh, check out his raffle, by the way. A lot of good stuff in there. Also, is going to a good cause. Now, John Duncan, who picked up a CBD oil for his buddy, but his buddy like didn't want to try it. I know that. Here's the thing I want to talk about a little bit while I talk about this. People are hesitant to try CBD oil, but there are no side effects in it. If we were all to drink one bottle each right now, like a cult, we're not going to die. We're probably going to feel really relaxed and go to sleep because you're not supposed to drink a bottle. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens. I have not read about a side effect with CBD except for drowsiness and dry mouth. And yeah, like people that are afraid to take it, I can see the concern because it's very tied heavily with marijuana. There is some THC in it, but it's only 0.3%. It's not going to get you high at all, you know, but it is, our bodies are made for it. You know, our bodies have what's known as the endocannabinoid system. Every single mammal has that. And CBD oil basically brings that system back into balance. So if you can't sleep, you have anxiety, you have a lot of inflammation, you have a lot of pain, CBD oil can help you maintain that. Back to John Duncan, you know, his buddy didn't want to take it, but John was like, listen, man, I already talked to you and used your time and stuff. I'm still going to buy it. And I was like, damn, man, the people that watch me are just the best, you know? Like, I feel, shit, dude, if we still doing this 5 years down the line, dude, you know what I'm saying? If we still doing this 5 years down the line, like, I'm gonna have to like Skype all my major events in life. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do a live so everybody can chill, you know, because we're gonna be homies, like true digital homies at that time. You know, it's funny actually. My two best friends are in California, and I consider them to be my closest friends. I do have a few others in Vegas. And I have a little bit here, right? But I don't hang out with anybody. I communicate with everyone through, you know, Skype, through Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, text. I don't even call people, man, but I feel very close to people through just text communication. And I talk to them every day, which is weird. I don't really hang out with friends a lot. The only person I hang out with is Kelly and my family. So my interactions with people that watch my channel or, you know, check me out on Instagram are pretty much the same as my real friends. So, you know, I'm forming these bonds with people, man. And John Duncan, yo, props to you for still picking up the CBD oil. You know, I'm telling you right now, buddy, take that stuff, stress, anxiety. You seem like a guy who's busy, has a busy job. So, you know, I think he's a realtor maybe. But yeah, man, dude, you can crush selling. I'm sure you already do. But if you ever have any anxiety or nervousness or anything, CBD oil, just a 1 milliliter of the stuff that you bought is going to make you Superman. Superman, Jewish Superman. But yeah, I take that stuff every day, man. I feel great. Neck feels good. Got motion. That is the first thing on the lost my chain of thought there. That means it's time for a swig at a cup. We're going to watch some clips right now. I am not super prepared with clips because a lot of the clips that I downloaded were clips that I'm supposed to watch with Kelly, and then we would laugh about it together or not laugh about it. You know, I have clips that may disturb her, and that's what my plan was for that couple podcast, man, and she ditched me. Lives in the same house and ditched me. Come on. I'm going to put on the earbud right now. That way I can listen to the videos, and I'm going to splice them in for you so we can watch it together, and it's not going to interact with the mic. And the first one, it says Moose Stub. I know what y'all are thinking, but that's not what it is. I'm sure everybody has done that before, man. I found this just the other day on TikTok. I thought I downloaded more clips, but I guess I didn't, man. I feel kind of upset about it. This is another one. I think this guy is playing Beat Saber or some virtual reality game. Look at his dog. I wonder if that's what my cats. I wonder if that's how they look at me when I'm like editing video and I'm so into it, man. Oh, my next notes, it says dog murderer. I don't know what that is. I hope it's not what... Oh, it's this one. I'm gonna watch it now. That's a trend on TikTok right now. I'm actually gonna edit the audio on that because this is something I hate that people do on TikTok. It's like they turn the music volume all the way up. Hey, it's not making your videos better. Oh, this is Michael Jackson wrestler. It says Michael Jackson ain't dead. He a wrestler in Brazil. Yeah. Oh, man. Now it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Aight, I'ma head out. So we've got some subway stories, of course. That is everyone's favorite. And the very first thing, I talked about this on Slicey, the podcast with Slicey Dicey. Let me take this thing out of my ear though first. Oh no, the foam is stuck in my ear. It's killer foam. It's gonna go in my brain. Yeah, let's talk about that first. Drop that in there. We improv it up. So yeah, I talked about this on the podcast I did with Slicey, which was kids tried to mug me. All right. This is kind of like sort of a, not a beware or like, more like tips really. If somebody in New York City in like a not so crowded area tries to talk to you, don't talk to them. Because more than likely they're trying to set you up, bro. So I was walking to buy wine like a good boyfriend on a Friday night. It wasn't even dark, man. It was around, I want to say 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. And I'm walking, I've got one earbud in listening to a podcast. And I'm walking and I notice you got to have good peripheral, man. You got to watch everybody. You know, I just watch everybody. My girl is always like wondering why I get tense sometimes in certain, areas. And that's because I'm just highly aware. I just want to know where everybody is, man. You know? And I saw that at the corner of my eye, somebody was following me. So I turned around and this dude is like, hey, can I talk to you? It was like a kid, man. Like maybe I want to say not older than 19. Maybe like 17, 18, 19. You know, kind of like my height. I'm not that tall. I'm like 5'8", maybe 5'9". I think 5'9" is what the doctors said when they measured me. But not tall, you know. So I'm like a kid. I'm literally one of your kids, right? And I saw that he was with like 3 other people and they were about to like crowd me, you know? And he was trying to give me a pound. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, what up? But once you do that, yo, they're going to pounce on you. They're going to mug you, man. You know? And I was in an area where it was kind of sketchy. I think it was much more ratchet years ago. Kind of the area where A-list CBD is. But where our block is like dope, you know? It's like right next to the subway station. It's like very busy. But that side street was not. And, you know, I had the damn designs yokai on me, which is really funny because what I was thinking the whole time was I can't fight off 4 people, right, without getting seriously hurt. I don't have any money. They're going to think I'm lying and they're going to try to mess me up. I'm going to have to get into a scrap. And, you know, I may not look at him a really nice guy, but I've definitely hung out with some rough dudes before and I've scrapped many times, yo. You know? many times, many fights. And I didn't want to go through that. And, I didn't want to get seriously hurt. I don't want to seriously hurt these kids. I was thinking, like, I went for the knife right away. I didn't take it out. It was on a pocket clip. I did have it on the pocket clip that time. And I reached into it. And the kids were like, yo, what you reaching for, man? What you reaching for? And, they were dropping some hard N-bombs, like, too many of us, bro. Too many. You know what I'm saying? They were all like that. Don't get seriously hurt. And I think that, people don't understand what it's like to be in that situation or to get hurt in that situation. I have many times, dude, but the whole time, it's funny, the whole time I was thinking, I wasn't even thinking of my well-being, really. I was just thinking, like, man, if I have to hurt one of these people with this damn design yokai, damn design EDC is going to be really pissed, because I'm going to have to tell them their body's on it now when I send it back. That's what I was thinking in my head the whole time, but they didn't follow me to the main road. They sort of backed off. I think once they saw that I was reaching for something, they kind of think like, oh shit, like one of us could really get hurt. Because I was one of them kids before. I was one of them kids, hanging out with rough people, trying to mug people. I'm not proud of it. You know what I'm saying? But I ran away from home many times, man. And when you have a lot of runaway kids that don't have a lot of guidance, just hanging out with each other, breaking night, staying up till like 7 a.m., cutting school, you need money, yo. You gotta buy garlic knots to survive, dude. And even though it's $1 for 4 pieces, where are you gonna get that dollar? You mug people. And I certainly never wanted to do it, but I was lumped in with that group because they were doing it. I don't think I ever really mugged anybody, but I was definitely present a few times. And that was a long time ago, we never hurt anybody, but most people just, at that time in the 90s, late 90s, people were just like, oh, these are just dumb kids that don't have money. And that's how I felt too. I was like, these are kids trying to prove something to each other. They're just trying to look hard because they're growing up, not so great. But yeah, man, that was just an experience that I had. Sorry to kind of give you a bummer subway stories, but that's just the realities of living in New York City, man. To talk a little bit about on that, Kelly and I were going to BJ's, trying to stock up on grub for the week. Dude, your boy is healthy as fuck, yo. I eat chicken and rice, peas, and an avocado every day, yo. Do that clean eating, man. That's why I look so young, bro. But we were going to BJ's, man, and just a similar situation. A guy was walking behind us. I knew it. I was already. What did I have on me at the time? I never want to use an EDC knife, but I feel like. But yeah, I was reaching for the pocket already, and the Kelly just stopped and was like letting the guy pass to go in front of us, and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get to the bar down the block," but he was like getting a little too close. Just weird situations like that will happen often, and I want to say in that time, I think the guy just didn't have personal space manners, or he was like drunk or fucked up or something. But just weird situations like that happened recently. And yeah, but what happened after that, that like almost mugging or whatever, I just went to the wine shop, bought wine, like it was all good. Your fight or flight is going to be on at that time. So, I was making decisions quickly, like people moving in slow motion. I got back to the shop. I didn't even tell anybody. It's not worth it. I told Kelly, but it's just a situation that if you've never been in those situations before, it could really end badly. So just definitely don't look like you're scared, That's what me and Slicey talked about. He talked about a situation with him on the podcast. That's why you guys should check it out. I bonded with my boy Slicey Dicey in that podcast. But yeah, man, that was just a recent thing. That was a very top of the list for Subway stories. Now let's make it funny. Guy in baby voice asking for money. This was on Brooklyn Bridge. I was going to work and this guy was just going like this. Do you have any change? Like to everybody. And at first I felt bad, and then he would look at the ground and just go, wah! And this guy didn't really look haggard or anything. So I was like looking around if maybe, he was like handicapped or something like that. And I was trying to look around for his caretaker. But man, this guy walked the subway platform like 10 times while I was waiting for the train. Just every time, change please. And I'm like, what is happening right now? This is another crazy one. There was this lady on the train rocking back and forth like this. She was counting money. All right. She had a stack, bro. And she was like, oh my God, no. No. Oh my God, no. Like that, man, rhythmic. And I was like, oh man, like maybe I should give her money. And then I'm like looking at these bills, dude. There was hundreds stacks, bro. This lady had cheddar, man. And I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe drug deals. He's trying to get, owes somebody money. That was happening right next to me, dude. No. Hundreds. No. 100. No. Like, must have counted at least like $1,500, man. I'm like, shit, you're better off than me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe don't count your money on the subway, though, because somebody's going to take, maybe the baby guy is going to be like, wait, change. Just jack that shit. Do you guys remember the drug sale, What the Hell? That I showed you guys, that clip?
Drug sale right there, look at drug sale. What the hell? No way! Yeah. Oh, what the hell? My boy, yo, you good?
Yo, there was a guy that didn't look like that guy, but was doing the same thing. It says on my notes here, it says heroin guy stretching on railing. He was legit like doing heroin yoga on this railing, bro. He was like, he was like feeling so good, like it was a heroin chiropractor, man. And I feel bad, like, kind of like talking about like junkies and stuff like that, because that's tough, man. But it was just so hilarious. Everyone was just watching to see what this guy was doing. Wasn't bothering anybody. Let's just get that straight. He was just, maybe that's his morning routine. And he got on the train, didn't bother anybody, just sat down. But for about 15 minutes, man, that dude was doing the yoga. Touchy Asian guy. Next on the notes for Subway Stories. This guy, man, he didn't come up to me. Maybe I don't look Asian enough, but he was going up to only Asian people, Chinese, and he was speaking Chinese to them. He looked like he was a little bit challenged, right? And, I felt bad because maybe this guy was lost or something. And he was like legit touching people and asking them stuff, maybe directions or something like that. But he was, getting handsy, man. And I'm like, damn, I don't want this guy to get like punched, He was touching ladies too, but like not like in a sexual way, but he was definitely asking him something, man. Like quick, like came in. He's like, I'm just kidding. Don't want to be racist, but I'm Asian, so I can do it to my own race. But he was just asking him stuff. And I never figured out what happened, man. Just going up to people, he touched a lady on the knee, yo, and asked something. She didn't seem to be bothered because I think she understood. Kind of crazy thing that happened was I was on the train, right? And the emergency brake just turned on all of a sudden. And when that happens, you think, it's over. Is this train going to blow up? Is it going to derail or something? Because I have never had the emergency brake pulled up before on the train, and I've lived here since 87. And we just stopped for like a dead 30 minutes, yo. And here's what made it like kind of spooky, okay, kind of scary, was the conductor didn't get off the train. There was another guy, in the safety vest, just like with a flashlight, just checking mad hard the train going up and down. Like, I'm like, oh shit, is this like a bomb scare or something? And then the guy gets on board, right? And he's just like rushing to the conductor like area. Bangs on it like do 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 do. And I usually sit right outside of that room because it's just a wall on the J train and there are no seats there, so I can just your boy fucking stands up, man. It keeps the legs looking fresh, right? And I'm just standing there on the corner, so I hear everything that's going on inside. The guy bangs on it. Do do do. Let me in. He gets in. They slam the door hard. And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then the conductor is like, "Dude, this ghetto, man. I don't know what the fuck's happening. This is broke. It's ghetto." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" They they got ratchet really quickly, and you just hear that. All of a sudden, the train starts moving, and I'm like, "Yo, did you guys just bang on the controls or something? Or bang on the lever for the emergency brake just to get the train to start moving?" And they didn't explain. First of all, the conductor is supposed to make announcements about what's happening. Everyone is kind of freaking out a little bit on the train, but I think they were mostly New Yorkers, so they weren't freaking out as much. A lot of people were listening to stuff. But, like a really cute girl actually went to the conductor and knocked on it. It was like, "Oh, what's happening?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I made an announcement." And then she's like, "Oh, I didn't hear anything." And then he goes, "Well, did you have your headphones on?" And she's like, "No." He goes, "All right, I'll make an announcement again." And the dude was like whispering, bro. He's like, "Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the emergency brake just turned on and to be delayed for a little bit." I'm like, is this MTA at ASMR? Hey, MTA, do better. Because we give you a lot of money. Do better. People were legit like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, do we gotta worry? Do we call our families now? I can tell people were starting to, once the train started moving, we pulled into the Essex Street station, and everything was fine. Emergency brakes turned on again as the train was leaving the station. So your boy had to go all the way down. I had to go all the way down to because I was in the front, right? I had to go all the way down to the end half of the train and get off that way because some of the train was already pulled out of the station, dude. What a shit show. MTA, do better. You can do better. You can do better. Look at me. Do better. This is a really short one, and we'll end Subway Stories on this because this is hilarious, especially with the whole coronavirus thing happening. A guy, right? Rough looking dude, man. Saggy pants, doing that sag pants walk, right? Hoodie, kind of dirty hoodie. And he was, you could tell he was rushing to get out of the train. The train just stopped. And he went to blow his nose, he went to blow snot out of his nose like that. And he miscalculated when the train doors were going to open. And the biggest snot puddle just hit the door. And then the doors open. And the guy just walks out, pretends like he's the shit, like nothing happened. And me and the guy that was next to the door, we look at each other, we're like, ew. That was just yesterday. What the fuck? He went just slime all over the door. Ew. Dude. What the fuck? I have some viewing recommendations, because your boy has been watching a lot of stuff, discovered a lot of shows, discovered a lot of movies, and that's probably why I didn't have a lot of clips for Gramworthy. You know what I'm saying? So Flick Connection, the channel that I always watch to get movies to check out on Netflix, Prime Video, and pretty much anything, even Shudder. He recommended some movies. In the Shadow of the Moon, very interesting movie, man. Very interesting. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but the opening sequence shows these grisly murders, and it's so solid that you have to watch the rest of the movie. I'm gonna show some clips of it here, and it's really, really cool, man. What's so funny is that I've been watching Narcos. I watched seasons 1 to 3 in like a week. I know your boy's a psychopath. And the dude Murphy from Narcos is the main lead in the movie In the Shadow of the Moon. And I was like, and he's the same. He looks the same. He had the same mustache and all that shit. And good movie, also Narcos, if you haven't seen it. Of course, one of the best. It's kind of like the South American Goodfellas, if you want to think about it in that sense. Very, very good. What else did I watch? I watched The Bad Batch. One of my viewers told me to check this out. So if you're watching this podcast right now, thank you. Because that is a movie that kind of just tries to do a lot of different things from what's going on. And I think at the end of it, it kind of fell a little bit short, but I still loved the movie, man. It was just crazy. Jason Momoa is in it. Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey, this dime piece girl that I don't know her name is the main lead. And she's just like trying to help this little kid out. And there's cannibals in it. And it's like post-apocalyptic future world. It's kind of like a prison colony. Think Battle Royale if it was like in Las Vegas. Battle Royale High School, that Japanese movie where they put bad kids on an island and they fight each other. If you guys have never seen that, you guys are missing out. That's another thing I want to talk about, man. A lot of people still don't want to read subtitles. Hey, read subtitles. Okay? You're missing out on so much cool shit, man, if you don't watch movies or shows with subtitles on it. Because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to mention here is actually that. You know, I watched this show, The Gift. It's like a Turkish show. There's 8 episodes out. Season 1 is fully out on Netflix. One of the most unique like stories. It kind of has a lot of, it's like some time travel stuff. It has a lot of like cosmic stuff in it. And it very well produced, man. This could have been an American show. It kind of scary, but it didn't use spooky, scary stuff to drive the story along. And at the end of episode 8, you're like, yo, I want to watch it now, like season 2. I think it's coming out in December of 2020. Really good show, man. Again, it's a Turkish show. I try to watch it in English. Don't watch it in English. It's absolutely terrible. The dubbing is so bad. There are some animes that have good dubbing. Cowboy Bebop being one of them. You know, Samurai Champloo is another one. But don't watch things dubbed, you know? I think it's okay to watch some of the old kung fu movies like hey, EDCC. This is your boy. In the NYC. You know what I mean? It's easy. Imagine I was dubbed. It's okay to watch those because it's kind of funny. But some of the stuff that I recommend to you guys, don't watch it in dubbed, man. Watch subtitles. Okay? You all need to read more anyway. You guys need to read more. And so do I. Better Than Us is a show from Russia. It's about just think of the movie with Will Smith, I, Robot, but if it was expanded and the robots were Russian, right? And there's like those I, Robot looking robots, and there's like dime piece robots, yo. Like these fembots, you know? And they're not supposed to kill people, but the main fembot killed somebody. I'm in already at the premise. And the main character is like a mortician. He, works at a morgue, and he like sees the body that was killed by the robot that they try to deem an accident. So that's pretty much how it started. I'm only on episode 2. But yeah, man, that is pretty much my summary of my week so far. I really enjoy everybody getting closer with me, man. That is the number one thing that I'm trying to do is just, send my message, whatever the message is. So usually it's silly dick and fart jokes, and talking about sharp, pointy things. And I'm glad that you guys enjoy that, man. I'm really glad. That really makes me happy. I'm very passionate about this channel. Way more passionate than I was when I first started it. And EDCC is here to stay, man. Thank you guys for watching. Much love to everybody. Everybody have a good weekend. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray. And this is the EDCC P saying peace. I almost forgot the PP.